Rucka Ali with us, and on the Better Discourse conference site, his bio reads thusly. Rucka Rucka Ali is a comedian and musician that boldly takes on issues surrounding politics, race, philosophy, and many other social constructs. So I wanted to ask what your favorite social construct is. My guess is the patriarchy.
At the moment, high-speed internet is because you keep cutting out. I can barely hear you. I hope people at home can hear what the fuck you're saying.
Who knows? Maybe they don't want to hear.
Now I hear you better.
Yeah.
The funny thing with the whole social constructs is that's like a postmodern language, like vocabulary. They try to say everything's a social construct. Race is a social construct. Gender is a social construct. This is a social construct. That's a social construct. Everything's a social construct. So we need to basically police everyone's language, police everyone's thinking in order to like correct all the biases that people have. Sure. So, of course, Sean the genius probably wrote my bio for me and says, he talks about race, philosophy, blah, 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 and other social constructs. And I was like, why did you call it that? And he's like, well, do you want to correct it? You write your own bio. I'm like, I'm not going to write my own bio now. Just keep it as it is.
Well,
I do extra work.
People do write their own bios, right?
They're called autobiographies, not bios.
No, they're called bios.
Auto bios.
They're called bios.
They would be kind of auto bios.
Well, they'd be bios. I mean, there's a whole... I'm going to go turn my mic down. Hold on.
With all these social constructs, right? If we said... Don't they just want to replace it with a different social construct that they like better?
Well, I think their premise is that we can all be equal if we basically reduce everyone back to the level of a zygote, not even a fetus, but like a speck of somethingness, barely, and go back a step before that, and we just reduce us all back to that level, then we'll finally be equal.
Right, so, but we'd have to have a lot of social constructs, shaping this in order to achieve that goal. So to me, it just seems like you're just replacing one social construct for another. I don't know. Seems weird.
I just want to tell you, Rucka, I know.
Gender unicorn, that's my favorite social.
90% of our speakers write their own bios.
Well,
there's only a small majority that we have to write for them.
Well, 100% of your speakers ain't shit compared to this motherfucker. Oh.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Want to play the comparison game? I mean, we can make it personal.
So Rucka, one of the things we never really got into. So you're kind of an OG now when it comes to the rap game, and you came up in Detroit, and I've always wondered, they made that movie 8 Mile, and it showed like the freestyling and the underground and all that stuff. Is that for real? Did you ever go to those things? Did you like sharpen your teeth there?
Oh yeah,
that was a real thing.
It's a real thing, but no, I didn't go. I didn't go to St. Andrews Hall and rap battle.
St. Andrews Hall, that's where it is?
It's one of the places.
Oh, okay. Is that still happening in Detroit?
I would imagine so. Any place where, brothers are hipping and hopping and spitting their bars, people want to find out who's the best one. The rap battle kind of, I'm surprised it's not bigger right now.
Yeah. I was looking at that too. Like back in the day when Tupac and Biggie Smalls and those guys were big, like I didn't really pay much attention to it. And you had that whole East Coast, West Coast rivalry, and then Tupac's dead, and then Biggie's dead, and then somehow Puff Daddy comes out on top. Like I started looking at that more like these days. I didn't realize how crazy that got.
It got pretty crazy. And the movie 8 Mile, it came out in 2003, I think, but it takes place in like the mid to late 90s. It's like I think before Tupac is dead, or maybe a little right after. It takes place in the mid to late 90s, if I recall, because like it was supposed to be the golden era of all of that hip hop battling that was taking place.
Yeah. And then Eminem kind of came on the scene and changed everything. I mean, obviously we have the Wu-Tang Clan; they just came back together.
Didn't Killer Mike come out of that? And that's how we got his...
Well, I think Killer Mike was a little earlier than that.
I don't know if anything you guys are saying consists with the facts of reality. You're literally just saying
Well,
stuff
we're talking
that
to you.
passed through your mind. And then Eminem came along and changed everything. Oh,
Well, he
there's no
did.
Wu-Tang
No,
Clan.
he really did.
What the fuck
He-
are you even saying?
Eminem really did change that scene when he came
What is
out.
that? Which scene?
The rap battles, the whole thing.
How do you know he changed the rap battle scene?
Because I lived through it. I was a part of it.
What part of what?
When Eminem came out, it became more about the lyrics and making people laugh, and he blew up so quickly that people were like trying to glom onto his style.
No, they weren't. I wish people were trying to glam on his style. All anyone else was rapping about was, as famously said, big screen TVs, blunts, 40s, and bitches. Name one other rapper that did the Eminem thing. There's
man.
so many.
Eminem,
I can't name one.
For the uninformed, what is the Eminem thing?
So Eminem was more about drugs, looking at society, talking about kind of what was happening in the world, like kind of what Rucka's saying, versus like hoes and pimp your ride and buying big houses and stuff.
How is
like
that? But how is that not? How is Gangster's Paradise not a commentary on society?
Well, Coolio?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was okay. Yeah,
okay with you?
Coolio wasn't like
Coolio, that's early
He wasn't
90s.
like, yeah, he was the early 90s. We're not talking about the early 90s stuff. We're talking about
You're just
but if
Bad
you're gonna
Boy.
make
You're not entirely
Bad Boy and
Your
Tupac.
feet are not entirely planted on the ground at this moment. Is how I would.
I'm
put
with Rucka on this.
Yeah.
'Cause you said name me one, and I just named you one. And I don't know anything about this.
No,
No,
Before that,
no.
he was saying Eminem
Yeah.
was doing the funny thing, and
Yeah,
people
yeah.
were trying to do that. No one tried to do that. Eminem stopped doing it too.
Yeah.
Basically, after his first big major label album, every album after that just had one funny song and a bunch of serious songs.
Yeah. So what you're trying to say is you're the funniest rapper around. Is that what you're going for?
I mean, I'm the only rapper that's even doing comedy. It's like there's
That's
some
true.
sort of embarrassment attached to
That's true.
actually doing what it is that changed the world and inspired millions of people, which is making people laugh and smile for once in their life.
Making people laugh again.
Yeah, I think people, they just don't know how to do it. You know, look at all the people you know in your life. Look at the people out in the world. How many people put a smile on anyone's face these days?
Yeah. Yeah, you and Stephen Lynch. You guys are like fucking hysterical.
Even he doesn't put a smile on anyone's face.
so-
He doesn't?
He's so full of himself. He's so full of. Didn't Weird Al Yankovic come out with
Weird
a
Al.
new one?
2014 was a great year.
Didn't he just come out with a new one though?
Yeah, 6 years ago.
Was it
Great
6 years?
time.
No. Okay. Well, maybe I'm wrong.
I mean,
He blocked you on Twitter, right?
yeah,
He
Yeah.
did?
Yeah.
Why?
it's fucked up because I'm black.
I'm sorry, man.
Because he was
Racism
trolling
sucks.
him.
Racism. I thought it was over.
Yeah. So how's LA right now? Your neck of the woods. How has the coronavirus changed things for you guys? I mean, we see the Wisconsin stuff. It really hasn't changed too much here outside everyone's unemployed, but
I basically stay home, so I don't really see LA that much, but it's less traffic, which obviously is like we've achieved the impossible. There's less smog in the air, so apparently that's all that matters. So yeah, people can't put food on the table, but at least we've solved pollution. So congratulations, everybody.
Yeah.
Greatest success story I've heard of in years.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, so today we're gonna take you through a job interview, and it's like one of those things that I was thinking about. You know, the unemployment rate right now is insane, right? You have people that have been in careers or at jobs for decades, years and years and years, that are gonna have to like reapply for new jobs. It's gonna be really, really,
Yeah, we're afraid
really
some
strange.
industries won't come back. Or won't come back to their fullest, especially things like concerts, right?
Yeah. Or even manufacturing. I mean, if you take a look at manufacturing, and a lot of it's dependent on China, that's going to get really messy right now. You know, deservedly so. But I think companies are going to have to get away. We got to stop doing business with China for sure. So we got to get off that. Yeah. So I mean, it's just the landscape's going to change. So Brian and I both have been on furlough for over a month. It's the first time I wore a nice shirt in a month. So you're welcome,
I can
Rucka.
verify that.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for shaving too.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for dressing up for your job interview.
Yeah.
So let's do this. Let's go through this list. These are popular questions that you'll get on a job interview. So one of the things we want to figure out is what job do you want to interview for?
Yeah, we have a couple jobs to.
Oh, I'm
They're
the one
available.
who's supposed to decide?
Yeah, you're.
All right, what are
you're
my
getting-
options?
Yeah, so we got official movie critic for Rotten Tomatoes. That's one. We got another one. What was it? The human verifier on YouTube. What was it?
No, the fact checker for Snopes.
Fact checker for Snopes. Was it the human? Was it the human? You said it.
Human one. Oh, the YouTube manual
Yes,
reviewer.
the YouTube manual reviewer. We thought that was the best job for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, unless you got some other options. We don't have any other options here, Rucker.
I
You gotta
guess
help us out.
YouTube manual reviewer is the
All
one.
right. So we're gonna go down the list. All right. So, Mr. Ali, thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for dressing up. Really appreciate having you in here. What would you say are your biggest weaknesses?
Well, Sean, let me tell you all about that. But first, let me tell you about the Ridge wallet. Yes, I'm serious. The Ridge wallet is the hottest new wallet being sold today online. For $75, you can get from over 30 different designs and colors. Let me tell you, most people have wallets that were designed in the 90s. They're big, they're floppy, they slide in your back pocket. You sit on them, they wear out your back pocket. They're clunky. Yo, the 90s are over. That's it. Donald Trump is president. The world is a different place. All right? Nobody can leave the house anymore. This is not your little rap battle 1990s decade. We got Ridge Wallet now. 12 cards can fit in here. Plus, you'll never get this. For those of you boomers out there still living in the 90s, there's even a place for cash. That's right. Cash, cards. What more can you really ask for? I'll tell you what you can ask for. 10% off by going to ridge.com/Rucka and use promo code Rucka to get your wallet from Ridge. The Ridge. What's in your front pocket?
You realize no one's spending any money right now.
And you realize that this is the job for the YouTube manual reviewer. Our sales department is just fine. This is actually a manual review.
And I think
They're gonna
you
be in operations.
you missed the essence of that question. So when a job interviewer asks what's your biggest weakness, what you have to do is take a strength and then make it look like a weakness.
Or you could just pitch an ad for something, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't even answer the question yet.
Yeah.
I said let me first tell you about the Ridge.
Okay, thanks for that.
All right. So what was the question again?
What is your biggest weakness?
Why do we have to start on a negative note?
Because we're assholes.
This is welcome to HR, man. This is, you know.
Who wants to introduce themselves with negativity?
That's why you're
Do you
supposed to
go
take
on a date and immediately
This is
ask
the
the person
YouTube-
what's the worst thing about you?
Oh man.
job-
Comes
you're
off
a-
insecure.
The job you're applying for is in the ninth circle of hell. You're going to have to determine people's livelihoods and shut them down.
Yeah, have
with
you not noticed that
Either
YouTube
no or terse
is
explanations.
negative? So
So,
may as well start
If you
with the
think
negative.
that's negative, perhaps you're not cut out for this job.
My biggest weakness, and I don't want this to come off in any sort of bigoted, hateful way, is big, black, beautiful women.
Interesting. Interesting. Right. So what would you say are your biggest strengths?
My calves.
That's true. I can attest to that. I can definitely attest to that. So, Mr. Ali, what makes you unique? He has his own Instagram account for his calves.
I have an
it.
Instagram that makes me pretty unic.
For your calves, just
I've
for
got
your
my
calves.
own clothing line and a deal with the Ridge Wallet where you can go get 10% off at this very moment.
So
And let me tell you something else before you interrupt me again.
Yes.
What makes me unique is where else have you seen a black, gay, hillbilly, straight racist who's also Chinese?
Except
It's
for
a-
where?
It's a lot of oppression points you got there. Yeah.
No.
So, how do you handle stress, Rucka?
This is kind of personal, but the truth is, at the end of a long day, I like to sit back, smoke some crack.
That's
and
it. Takes
get
the
some
edge off.
sleep.
Takes the edge off. Yeah.
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 Mhm.
Yeah. Some people take those little sleeping.
Now, are we
things,
talking like
Rucka just
the
goes right
drug, or are we talking more tossed salad?
to crack.
Crack.
Yeah.
Crack
Well,
cocaine.
there's multiple types of crack.
Really? Tell me about that, doctor.
I was just thinking. Like,
What-
crack is in, tossing salad, or crack is in the drug.
No.
Okay.
No.
He was into
No.
it.
How would you feel about reporting to a person younger than you?
This I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but a younger woman, no thanks.
No,
A younger dude he's probably a fan of mine.
Okay.
He'll just give me an easy ride.
I am not making this up. At my last job, there was somebody that was interviewing for a promotion, and they asked them, they said, what would you feel about reporting to, how would you feel about reporting to a woman? And he said, absolutely not.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you think he
Did he get the job?
Do you think he, not only did he not get the job, do you think he kept his job? They fired
Well,
him.
how can he keep the job if he didn't get the job?
Well,
No,
I think
no.
He was applying for a promotion.
He was applying for the promotion. Not only did he not get the promotion,
Oh.
lost his job. So there you go.
Why? Why did he lose his job?
Well, why do you think?
Tell me.
I think that, well, it depends on what level you are. So that would be considered
He was a manager.
sexism.
Yeah.
So if you had people below you, if you were unwilling to work for a boss above you, then you would probably discriminate at people below you.
That's correct. He was a manager.
Fair point.
Sales
Fair
manager.
point.
Yeah, gone.
I guess honesty is a disqualifier in today's world.
Perhaps. Although in that case, perhaps.
Mr. Ali, how would you fire someone if you had to?
Say, get the fuck out of my office and take your shit.
That's one way to do it.
That's fantastic. The correct answer is to work with your human resources department and make sure you have a paper trail on them before you make any decisions, and make sure you get your corporate heads all on the same page before you fire someone.
You say, how would I fire someone? I mean, is it a minority female? Obviously, I don't fire that person. Is it a straight white guy? Obviously, doesn't matter how I fire him. I know how the world works. God, imagine working in this corporate culture. Like, everything's team building and everyone's like, oh, hey, guys. Oh, my God. Like, I can't imagine, like, trying to fire someone, like, the politically correct way. Like, bring them in. Leave the door cracked a bit. Hey, yeah, so let me ask you a question. Like, if you were blah, 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 and you saw an employee doing this, how would you handle it?
Yeah.
All this beta shit. Just
This
fucking
is-
tell them to get the fuck out of the building.
These are the questions. These are the questions
Well,
that you're going to come across.
What
I
if
would
they
answer them. Why would I be firing someone? I'm the one you're looking to hire.
Okay, but what
I
if
would
the-
pay
what
to
if-
see you in an interview.
You may be overlooking something. What if the straight white man that you're firing is hearing impaired?
I would speak in what do you call that shit?
Sign
sign
language.
language.
Yeah, I would
Okay, you
speak in
learn how to sign.
ASL.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you'd have to get that one. You're fired in sign language down first.
I would just point at the door.
Mr. Ali, describe a time you chose not to help a teammate on a task they were performing.
I fucking didn't want to help them.
Okay, but
You're supposed to, right?
yeah, you gotta. So this is a.
You're supposed
It's
to
a
make
bad
something of
answer.
it.
It's a bad answer.
Okay.
You
Let
gotta-
me give you the answer that'll get me the job.
Okay, here we go.
Well, guys, listen. At my last job, I loved everyone who worked there, or so I thought. I thought I trusted them all. One day, my coworker, who I had always respected, family man, he said to me, "I am going after work to lynch 2 people of color
Jesus.
and harm them physically because of the color of their skin. Want to come with me?" And I said, "What time are you going?" He said 5 o'clock. I said, "No way am I going to go there with you."
That
but,
was. Yeah,
but if you
that's
want to
good.
meet up after, maybe get a bite
That's
to eat
good.
or something, hit me up.
That's
Shoot me a
good.
text.
That's good. That's a really good. God, I would pay to see this in action.
Well, right.
So here's
But
a
did you report it to
this
the
is an
authorities?
action. We're doing this.
It says
so
no.
here's a new one. This is a new one I found that you could be asked in a job interview. No shit. What is your favorite website? I think they also mean social media site, but you can go with either.
Blackplanet.org.
Really?
I thought he was going to go with Pornhub.
I thought for sure it was Grinder.
I thought he was going with Pornhub. That's a new one. I've never seen that one. I found that one. Another one. Do you
TikTok.
ever?
It could be TikTok.
That's Chinese propaganda. Do you ever take your work home with you? I don't
The
know.
only person you ever should hire is someone who takes their work at home every night.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a tough question. They didn't really give a good answer to this one. I don't know what the answer would be on this one.
I would say all aspects of my life feed into my work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, teachers, they always say they have to take their homework with it. They're always talking about grading papers and such. So, you're going to be a teacher of stuff, teacher of morals, right? In the job that you're applying for, you need to teach the proles morals. So, maybe you do.
So you got to take it home. Well, teachers
I'm just gonna
actually
pretend
literally
that he will.
teachers literally take work home with them. They have to grade all their papers for the kids. I mean, elementary school teachers.
But they could just stay at the office.
They could. All right, next one. This is a classic one, Mr. Ali. Out of all the other candidates, why should we hire you?
Because I'm black.
That's good. That's good. That's
How would you position yourself against a rival black candidate?
Because
we're
DNA
interviewing
test
many.
to find out who's blacker.
So do you have
Okay.
have you done your 23andMe?
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. Who's black?
I would actually, to answer your question, I would show up with a feather in my cap.
And a pimp stick? Is that what you're going for there?
No,
No,
he
I'm
was
going for
Native
Indian.
American.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Why? Okay, it's another one. This is another classic one. Why do you want this job?
I'm not sure I do, Sean, but it seems like you guys could use the help right now.
That's good.
Somebody in the
Is it good? Is it
I
good?
think-
I don't know if they would really
I
want
think
that
Somebody
answer.
in the
This
chat
one-
said, "What the hell am I watching?" What would you say to that?
So
person?
this one,
like sometimes you do have to respond to the plebs on YouTube.
I would say whatever it is you're choosing to watch.
So this one, what they're looking for is they're looking for the fact that you did research on the company. So you want to have something prepared along the lines of, well, I identify with your core values or identify with your principles or identify with something that the company stands for. So you want to have that. That's a popular one.
So, but yeah, for the chat, like Rucka is interviewing for a job at YouTube
Yes.
right now as
Yes.
the manual reviewer.
As we go back to
Censor.
work, there's a lot of people right now that are unemployed temporarily, but as we're seeing, that's turning into permanent layoffs. And so what we're doing is a mock interview with Mr. Ali to see how he would answer, so you know how not to answer. And we're kind of learning as we go.
Right.
So that's what we're doing. What do you consider to be your biggest professional achievement? Crickets.
I did a pizza commercial jingle in 2009.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm. Happy's Pizza lost they mind. Look it up. It's still making rounds in the
Wow.
memosphere.
No shit.
So it's not any of your videos that have millions of views. It's a jingle for a pizza company.
I mean, I can't say, I made YouTube videos, but if I tell them, I made a TV commercial. I mean, just look at the difference level of respect you have for me when I talk about the Ridge wallet. Suddenly I'm official. That's the power of advertisements.
Ridge wallet. I'm gonna go buy one. All right, so this is another one. This one gets asked all the time. Tell me about the last time a coworker or a customer got angry with you, and how did you handle the situation?
Well, as a black man, I faced some unfair criticism for my personal complexion, and I told him, I'll be praying for you, son. I'll be praying for you.
And how did that resolve or not resolve the situation?
Right.
He likely got dealt with.
He got dealt with.
Yeah.
Oh, but you're unaware.
So, depending on the position that you're applying for here, you have to look at it from that whatever perspective. So, if you're in management, the answer is something along the lines of, I worked it out with the person, we had dialogue, whatever. And then if you're not a manager going into this, you're going to say, I spoke to the manager, gave them the story, blah 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 blah. They're looking for dialogue that you didn't just act out.
Sean, this is
crazy.
YouTube. There isn't a dialogue going on right now. There is only one opinion on COVID-19 that you're allowed to have.
That's true.
One opinion. There is
I'm
no.
I'm
dialogue.
talking to the rest of the people that will definitely not be working for
We're
YouTube.
talking about hiring this guy, and if he doesn't understand that there's only one opinion,
Well,
how the hell is he going to do this?
Rucka's already not
Stop
got the
confusing
job.
him.
He already has not received
What?
the job. He's
Fucked up.
We're just
All right, here's how I handled it. We had a certain system in place where the work needed to be passed around and approved by multiple levels of authority. But it wasn't, by the time it was reaching me, it wasn't reaching me in time, so that it was slowing down the process and I was unable to deliver my work in time. So I told one of my coworkers, I need you to approve this faster in order to let me do my job. He said, no, fuck you. Don't tell me how to spend my life. And I said, fuck me? That's fucked up. And we left it at that. I believe he went on to be a great father. We didn't need to kill each other over it. He's off. I believe he's top management at the company at this point.
cooler heads prevail.
I'm going to mark that
cooler
down
heads
to
prevail.
as agree to disagree.
This is,
We agreed to disagree. There
that was
it is.
Great.
Ah,
That was
yeah.
great. All right, now this is one that I've heard this one asked before. It came up in this HR popular questions one. What kind of work environment do you like best?
Well, Sean, the type of work environment that I like best is a productive one. I like being around people that just can't wait to create beautiful things and move on to the next venture. So anytime I can have an opportunity to help somebody reach their goal, that's my goal being met at the same time. And that's just the way that I've always looked at it. If there's anything I can do to help you reach your goal, all you need to do is let me know.
That's really good. That's really
I'm gonna
good.
mark that down as selflessness.
That's really, really good.
I like how when I get most sarcastic, you're like, wow, you can actually get this job.
if you didn't do it with the accent, you would have
What
nailed
accent?
it. You would have nailed
Right.
it.
And it,
This accent.
selflessness
That's how I
is,
sound?
Well, when you do the voice, yeah, that's how you
What
sound.
voice? I was just talking.
You sound no. When you do your antagonistic voice, you have an antagonistic.
Well, no, but
voice.
I think that selflessness will be good for this job. I
No,
mean,
that
he
is good. That's
he
good.
is going to have to tell creators that have done nothing wrong
Mm-hmm.
that their career is ruined, and he might in
That's-
fact have moral compunctions, in which case he wouldn't want to do that. But he's so selfless that he will
Yeah.
ignore those moral compunctions and then just do what we tell him to.
But even in a real world scenario, that's a really good answer. That's a really
Yeah.
good answer.
No.
Now, that
But
question.
I
backtracking
agree.
a little bit.
I agree with Brian that altruism leads to harming other people. I agree absolutely.
No.
Yeah.
But backtracking a little bit, I saw something on your social media that might have said he absolutely destroyed KSI. That's his most impressive achievement.
That is good. That is.
I'm not
good.
sure how people are tweeting into the interview, but they are.
That is
Maybe
good.
they've been hacked by the Chinese. I don't know. But
Well, I guess
what
if
would you
you're-
say to this?
Yeah.
That's the kind of engagement you can expect if you hire me.
Destroying KSI.
Destroying KSI, and he absolutely did. And then he made a video of him in a bath, showing off his calves.
I'm going to mark that down as modesty.
So that environment question, though, a lot of times it's replaced by personality tests, which is like the DISC profile, or what's the other one? The other big one.
DISC and the Myers-Briggs.
Myers-Briggs, yeah. So they make you take a test, and then they can figure out, based on how you answer, what environment you would work best in. Do I agree with it? Not necessarily. I've taken it and gotten different results, but that's
Have you
what a
taken
lot
it,
of-
Rucka? The
that's what a
DISC or
lot
the
of-
Myers-Briggs?
Probably not,
No.
Okay.
but
Yeah,
maybe.
probably
I don't know.
not. He's a high.
We're into forcing people to do things here, so
He's a
might
high.
make you take it.
He's a high D.
A personality test sounds interesting, to be honest. So I'd be glad to take it with you here today.
we should. Let's do the disc with Rucka. He's gonna be a high D.
How long is this shit?
Everyone's gonna
don't
be
know.
bored out of their
It's a
mind,
while.
but it's hilarious. And
That sounds interesting to me.
Everyone's gonna have to do it. I'm telling you, every HR fucking department makes you do a disc profile these days. Not Rucka because he's self-employed, but all right. Tell me about the toughest decision you had to make in the last 6 months.
Well, 6 months ago, my wife of 30 years notified me that she's been blessed by the Lord and we are pregnant. And I said, honey, you know I have career aspirations. How am I going to manually review YouTube videos if I'm busy making babies with you and raising them up?
You gotta raise them.
So we went down to the clinic, and it was a bit of a squeeze because she was, 7.5 months along, but...
You just found out at 7.5 months. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Well, she's a hefty gal, so sometimes it's not obvious.
Jesus Christ.
Right. Well,
That is.
here at YouTube, we support Ralph Northam and his no restrictions policy. So that you're falling in line here.
You support women. I've seen your tweets.
Now I didn't. I didn't see the answer to that one, so I don't know if anyone has a really good answer to that one. Brian, what would you say in an interview? Tell me about the toughest decision you had to make in the last 6 months. That's a good one. I don't even know what I would say.
What the toughest decision you had to make at work?
Yeah. Well, no, they left it open. Toughest decision. So I mean, I guess you could get personal like Rucka with abortion, but
the lunch place has got like a really good like garlic mastacholi, and like I didn't eat that,
Okay.
and my coworkers like that.
all right. So you failed too.
It was tough.
All right, Rucka.
It was hard.
What
This one
is
is good.
your leadership style? Ooh.
Fear.
Okay. Like you fear leadership, or
No,
your subordinates fear
he
you.
leads through fear.
Well-
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Someone's got to have the final word. That's
But
what
it
I've
could have
always
been
said.
his how he prefers to be led.
They
too.
said
you
it's-
didn't make that specific.
They said it's better to be feared than loved, and I agree.
Who's they?
The Godfather?
The Chinese Communist Party.
You think asking what's your leadership style could mean how do you like to be lead?
How do you like to be
This
led?
is YouTube. Remember who
And-
you're interviewing with.
Well, I think you're gonna do terribly in these, Brian. All right,
Yeah.
Rucka, Mr. Ali, tell me about a time you disagreed with a decision. What did you do in the workplace?
Well, in the workplace, Sean, I was told we're not going to allow any rock cocaine in the workplace. And I was not happy because that's where 99% of my energy comes from when it's time to get the job done. And the job needs to get done.
So you
So-
freebased instead?
I based instead.
I'm gonna mark that down as creativity.
Good guess.
Mr. Ali, how would you say other people describe you?
He says he's that black guy over there. That's one. Racist would be another one. Is this guy Chinese? Is he black? Is he racist? I can't figure that out. That's another way.
So how do we distinguish you and Derek Pilot? Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's some black guy. If you're
I've
some
been
black
described
guy,
as
then-
some black guy.
Yeah. I'm trying to find. Sorry, I was trying to find a disc test. This is what you do when you're unemployed. You just fucking do whatever. Whatever. No one cares.
Yeah.
All right. What questions do you have for us?
Why should I, as a black man, trust a company that was founded by probably a Jew?
Jesus Christ.
Why? Why should
You gotta answer.
Why should
that
you
one.
trust? Can you repeat the question?
Yeah.
Why should I, as a black man, want to work at a place full of fairies and Asians?
We are fully intersectional, and I mean fully.
Well, that don't help me. I'm just 150% black.
150%.
Well,
okay.
Then actually, you'll be 1.5 times more valued here.
All right. So what employers are looking for with that question? That one's going to come up. Yeah, they're going to ask you at the end, what questions do you have for me? You need to be prepared to ask something again along their mission and their vision and their good company goals. Rucka did a terrible job with that.
All right, here's my question. Like, what do you expect to see from an employee?
That's a really, really good question. That's a good question.
Doesn't seem like a good question. It seems like every time I give you the most generic bullshit,
but that's
would get you the job.
That's gonna do really well because now you put them on their you put them on their toes. They have to explain what they're looking for.
Why would they want to work with somebody who puts them on their toes?
There's some interview processes where that's the first question. Do you have any questions for me? The more you know.
That's the first question?
That's the first question. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How much you guys paying? When's my lunch break? Do I get, how many benefits do I get? I'm already not feeling well. I think I have corona. Is that going to be covered by the plan?
I think
that's a really good question.
That's the honest one, right?
That's
what
a really
you're supposed
good one.
to ask is something like, how do you, sir, feel valued? What special value do you get when you've been working here for the last 5 years? Something like that. Right?
All right, so we're
supposed to ask something that gets them talking about themselves.
So typically, what employers will do is they'll do the first interview, sometimes second interview, and then they'll have you take this DISC personality test. So we may as well do it. Let's do it. I don't even care. Let's do it. So, Mr. Ali, I enjoy being part of a loud crowd. Now you have 5 options for each of these: disagree, slightly disagree, neutral, slightly agree, or agree. That's 5.
I don't know. When? Depends. Am I going somewhere or am I just stuck at this place? It's just a dumb question. I guess slightly disagree.
I was going to say.
It's a gut check.
I was going to say again. I
remember,
value.
Here at YouTube, we don't value context.
This is one you see in all
Very
the time.
true.
I value cooperation over competition.
No.
I'm going to say that's strongly disagree.
Strongly
disagree.
No, it's actually just disagree.
Fuck.
All right.
Oh my
Just
God.
disagree.
Have you ever what's with the whole world? You go to school, you go to work, everyone wants the corporate team building. Why? We work better individually.
Do we? I don't know.
But you could have
If you're
departments
actually
competing.
good at your job, yes. If you're a hack, then you want to work in the group.
No, trust me, man. Especially when you get into bigger and bigger companies, it's really hard to cut through by yourself, unfortunately. That's part of the politics. Like you could do well at your job, but in order to make noise, it's very hard.
And at YouTube, we really would like to squash individual thought, in lieu of the greater narrative.
So this is a new one. I make lots of noise.
Disagree.
All right, disagree. You're quiet as a mouse. All right. I want strangers to love me. Ooh, that's an interesting one.
Love is a strong word.
I know. That's weird.
I guess. What are
Slightly agree.
I guess agree. Like, what am I going to disagree?
I was gonna say, yeah.
No, I don't want
you're on
strangers.
YouTube.
I mean, are they attractive? What kind of question is this?
No.
Because there's an agree and slight. There's no strongly, so it's agree or slightly.
You're
agree.
a social media guy. You definitely want
Are you
strangers
picking
to love
what
you.
he's choosing? I thought.
Yes, I'm picking him.
I want them to be
hey.
entertained and
Hey.
to watch my shit. They don't know me.
That's a good one here. I joke around a lot.
A lot? I mean, I know you think like the answer is yes, but like in a work environment, like I'm just gonna go in there, sit, and do my job.
No,
I'm
but
not
you
Really?
talking about. I watched him talk for David Smalley for 3 hours on objectivism, and that was pretty much talk. There wasn't a ton of jokes.
Well,
there.
I guess I get bored. I get bored though, so I probably would start joking around.
That's the thing, because like that we always have high hopes that you're going to be funny, and then you're not.
Yeah.
And then it just
Well,
puts.
I'll be as funny as you someday.
Sean is still trying the nagging strategy.
All right. So joke around a lot. Which one? You didn't even.
Yes.
Neutral.
No.
You could just
middle.
be neutral.
Neutral.
All right, neutral. There we go.
There
Neutral.
you go. Let them figure it out.
I love order and regularity.
Yeah, agree.
I mean, in regards to bowel movements, or what does this
No,
mean?
obviously we're talking about the workplace,
Okay.
man.
Context doesn't matter.
I hesitate to criticize other people's ideas.
Agree. Well, it depends. Am I on a podcast talking to dumbasses, or am I in the workplace? Why would I want to criticize somebody over there? Like, I'm just going to get in trouble for it.
It's sad that you don't see this as the workplace, but okay. I get it. All right. So are we going neutral?
No.
There's no fucking context on this question.
I know.
Do I like criticizing people's ideas? No.
That's the point. And I
You
think
criticize ideas of people all the time.
but I
Yes,
think
you do like.
yeah, no.
If
It
their
says
ideas
no.
are stupid,
No.
I want to criticize it. I don't like it.
It
I
says-
get no joy out of seeing stupid people get told.
It says I hesitate to criticize other people's ideas. Not I enjoy it.
What?
That's
Again,
first.
are they work ideas? Are they creative ideas? Are they philosophic ideas?
So what they're looking for here, I'm assuming, is are you someone that's going to challenge, or are you going to be someone that falls in line? This is gonna
give
be
me the good
between your-
answer then.
it's-
You're, no.
Sean, put disagree. This is YouTube. I'm sure we can assume
Disagree.
his intentions.
All right, I'm putting
I
disagree.
I can assume your
Y-
intentions.
It doesn't matter what scenario you're in, Rucka. You're going to criticize people's ideas. I
Right.
guarantee
All right,
it. I
you know me
guarantee it.
best.
Yeah. Just watch any of our panels.
That's right.
All right. Disagree.
That's a panel, not an office.
It's stop talking
I'm
about
there
the border
to
wall.
express myself. I'm not
That's
being
true.
hired to contribute to some pointless job that Google fucking threw some money at because they want to look like they care about shit.
All I know is I better not have to pay to get these results at the end, because I got to buy that wallet. I am emotionally reserved.
Yes.
Yes, that's not one of the answers.
Agree.
Agree. All right. Wow. Agree. I read the fine print. I would totally disagree. Yeah, I would disagree
Nobody
on that
reads
one
that,
too.
most of
yeah,
that
right.
shit.
Yeah. I try to outdo others. Ooh.
Outdo others?
Yeah.
Disagree.
Okay. My first reaction to an idea is to see its flaws. I do that a lot. I will be honest. I do that all the time.
Right, asking what could go wrong.
You try
Sure.
and break it down, yeah. Uh-huh.
Disagree.
You disagree? Your first
Yeah,
reaction to
my
an
first
idea?
reaction is like, is this a good idea or not?
Okay.
Okay.
Mm.
I have a strong need for power.
Disagree.
Disagree? All right.
What have I ever said or done that made you think I want power?
You yell at me all the time on the podcast, so
That's
I just
power. That's
Yeah.
power.
It's
that's
a good thing that he
persuasion.
said disagree. I mean,
Right.
if he were white, that would definitely disqualify him.
If I wanted power, I would stop arguing and yelling at you, and I would just join 90% of your other guests and just go push for some authoritarianism.
I don't think argue. I don't think you watch our show.
I think they know.
I don't think you know anyone that comes
I
on the
think
show.
they know who they are.
All right. I just want everyone to be equal.
Right.
No,
he must have
everybody
realized we lined
more-
up Gretchen Whitmer.
Equal?
You just want everyone to be equal.
I mean, equal before the law, or like equally?
Treated equally. It doesn't say
Yeah,
anything
like
about the law.
have the same rules apply.
Yeah. You're that guy, right? Yeah. You don't want to see,
No,
This
people
one might
getting
be
special
smart
treatment.
to go neutral on because
I
what
should
is
have
it?
special
Quality
treatment.
of outcome?
I think,
or-
like at this point, like once I demonstrate that I have the heart of an artist, I should be exempt from the YouTube community guidelines because I've made it clear that I'm not going to just post pornography. That
That's
I put
true.
thought into what I'm going to produce. So for them to delete my shit
Yeah.
when it was clearly done with artistic merit,
Good intentions trump
but
all
someone else who just does some cash grab on YouTube, I mean, I'm not happy their shit gets deleted, but at least like have somebody look it over.
Yeah.
Whereas with me, I should just be whitelisted. Like the TSA has that fast pass they do.
Yeah.
That should be me on YouTube.
Yeah, sure.
I love how
No,
that came out of this question. I will
Many
say this.
news outlets say that socialism itself, right? It had good intentions, so we can excuse it.
Rucka, I watch all of your premieres. Just want you to know that.
Thanks for watching.
You're welcome. I put people under pressure.
I wish.
You gotta give me an answer here, man. That's not. I
Agree,
wish it's not on
disagree.
here.
I disagree.
You disagree.
Right.
All right,
Yeah.
disagree.
He's not putting them under a rock.
Oh, here we go. I seldom toot to my own horn.
You're gonna say that I do toot my own horn, but I don't think I really do.
You're going disagree.
Slightly agree.
Disagree.
Going disagree. Wow.
Wait, I seldom do it, so that means I don't do it. So I agree with that.
Oh wait, yeah. Redo last question.
Why do
You're
they have
right.
to give these double negatives?
Yeah, I know.
man?
I
They just wanna
don't.
confuse
Yeah,
everybody.
this is like the free version of it. It's not very
Because
good.
if
This is.
you cancel, I think it's to cancel out another one. They want to see if
Yeah, this is a shitty version of it, but whatever. I mean, it's free. I am always on the lookout for ways to make money. I think we can go ahead
Always.
and hit agree. You just did an ad in the top, in the
Yeah,
header.
even in
Oh,
the
my
back.
first ad in 12 years online, and that's me always looking for ways to make money.
But here's the thing, though. Okay, I
No,
don't know
this
how
is
you're
an
gonna
interesting
answer.
question.
I don't know how you're gonna answer, but what? Who cares? What? Yes, of course. Everyone's.
What do you
always-
mean? What's the point of taking the test if you're not
I
going to
know,
let me
leading
in?
the witness.
No.
Hello. Yeah, what's his
okay,
answer?
okay. What's your answer? And I'm gonna give my answer.
The answer is no. I'm not always looking for ways to
Okay,
make
the
money.
answer
I
is
only
you-
took that ad because it was funny to have that in a KSI response where I'm responding to him. But first, here's a 5-minute.
I should have been typing
half
this into
video about this fucking wallet.
I want to juxtapose the actual Rucka and Rucka's answers versus Sean's view of Rucka from the outside.
So now, what I would say, so who cares? Who cares if you're trying to make money? Like if you're in a startup company or if you're doing your own, if you're rapping or whatever. I mean, isn't that the point of everything is to try to make money?
That's not the question. The question is, I'm always
Right.
looking for ways to make money.
That's a good point.
No, we're looking to make art.
That's a good point. All right, so you are high S. So he's an S.
Fantastic.
Wow.
What the hell does that mean?
So you're the steady personality. I never would have guessed that.
Really?
Yeah.
I always
Why don't
respond
you-
to your texts and emails.
Do you want me to read the personality?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, Brian, you can read.
Here we go.
The
My
S
destiny.
personality type is known for being steady, stable, and predictable. They are even-tempered, friendly, sympathetic with others, and very generous with loved ones. The S is understanding and listens well, preferring close personal relationships. The S is very opened with loved ones. Open, I think.
Yeah, I think they might.
Yeah, that's a type.
Wow,
It's
great
a-
test we have.
It's
here.
a
Yeah,
free.
that's
It's the free version.
But can also be possessive at times and hold them close.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow. What do you offer
So
to
you
the
have
team?
to. You have to see. Yeah. What does he offer to
That
the
style is
team?
reliant and dependable. They are patient, good listeners who want to work with teams in a harmonious way. They strive for consensus and will try hard to reconcile conflicts as they arise. They are compliant towards authority and are
That's
loyal
what I'm
people. This is
saying.
ideal.
That's what I'm saying.
This is
No, yeah, I
yes,
know.
is also good at multitasking, seeing tests through until completion. You will make an ideal YouTube review.
That's what I did. That's yeah. Okay. I mean, maybe, but this is where I always get hung up on these
Sean,
things.
you were not taking his answers and putting in some of
No,
the
I
things.
was. No,
You
I
sure?
was. Yeah, I
You
was
sure?
100% answering the way he answered. So he's the steady. He's the steady employee.
What do you think, Rucka? Is this thing even close?
I mean,
right?
some of it is true, but I'm a good listener. How did they get that shit from my answers?
Yeah.
How am I a good listener?
Right.
I think the Myers-Briggs is way better.
Oh no, it is. Trust me. The
Yeah.
Meyer, but that would take
It's
an
long.
hour and a half to
It's
do.
not an hour and a half. It's like 15
I would not be a good YouTube manual reviewer because I couldn't bring myself to deleting almost anything.
Yeah.
Unless it was straight up illegal abuse or some open shut shit. And I think YouTube is gonna get to a point where nothing's getting deleted because these Zoomers and these gloomers and
Is that a thing?
Millennials, I don't know.
Gloomers?
But these millennials and Zoomers, like they're just too sensitive to crush anybody's dreams,
Interesting.
or so we'll find out.
So,
But recently got censored. You know, differing medical opinions. Did you see the doctors from
That was a
Bakersfield,
Boomer.
California's? Well, they were what?
they weren't
Xers.
boomers.
No, they're Xers.
Yeah, they were
up in
Xers.
the
Yeah.
No,
mid-40s.
the YouTube people are boomers.
They are.
They are?
But did you see that video? Like that we're sent. There is no. There. I was always told in medicine there's a second opinion.
Was that
Right?
Hendrickson?
The doctors' names. Well, I'll have to quick look them up.
It was the two doctors. They were sitting at a table and they were talking about how we're handling the pandemic wrong.
It seems pretty bad. A guy named Yaron Brook did a response video where he just picks apart. Now, Yaron, like this doctor, wants the lockdown to end. So he agrees with the guy's goal, but he saw the guy as being so badly informed and so bad at making his point that he thinks it does more harm to the cause of ending the lockdown. So go check him out if you want to see that. Should YouTube delete differences of opinion? Obviously, it's like on one hand, the fate of the world is on these informers, on the people informing us, the fate of the future. At the same time, it's like once you start deleting shit over here, what about this shit over here?
Yep.
And what about this topic? You got medical advice all over YouTube. You got all types of beliefs out there that lead to all types of catastrophes if taken to their extreme. So should YouTube be deleting that video? I mean, probably not, but I'm just pretty much giving up on humanity. That's pretty much my answer to everything. Everyone, let's just call it quits.
Just give up.
I'm done.
You're a high S.
That's a gloomer.
You're a high S.
I'm a
But the
gloomer.
doctors were Dan Erickson and Artin Masihi.
That's the guy. I mean, it's sad that we have just stupid people all around on every side of every issue now.
Yeah.
So I have less to say about deleting videos by wrong people and more to say about let's figure out what is true and find ways to express that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that you need contrarians out there because sometimes the contrarian is right.
Well, let me ask you this. So this is, I'm totally with you, Rucka, and I totally agree with everything you're saying, but this is what's kind of got me screwed up right now. So we've been doing this deep dive into China. I know you don't watch any of our shit, it's fine, but a lot of our content, our posts and stuff have been about China because it's just been me and Brian digging deep into China, into their propaganda, into their forced harvesting, their forced organ harvesting practices, and all this other crazy shit they're doing. Now, the Chinese people don't have access to American social media. And in a lot of cases, they don't have access to their own, or if they say certain things on it, they get jailed and all that stuff. However, we allow them and their propaganda machines to post constantly on our social media platforms. Is that right? Do we allow them to do it if they don't even allow their own people to do it?
I mean, you use a lot of words like we and them, but you're not being very specific
take this
about like
example.
Should Twitter allow Chinese propaganda on it, for instance?
I guess. I mean,
Interesting.
they allow all types of creeps to express their opinions. So why are the Chinese any different?
Well, they don't.
Make
but,
a forum
I mean,
like the American embassy in China is not allowed to post on Weibo whatever the heck they want.
Again. You keep saying we and them, like the fact, and
I
this
said
is
the
like the
embassy
Donald
specifically.
Trump.
The embassy, the American embassy specifically.
Am I done talking? I had no idea. It's already time for you to chime in. This is news to me. Maybe the Chinese need to inform me more often because I never would have known. This is like the Donald Trump mentality. If the Chinese government is taxing, that means we should punish Americans and tax Americans with tariffs. It's absolutely ridiculous. If the Chinese are violating people's rights over there, that means we should be violating people's rights over here to get even with them. It's absolutely ridiculous. So the fact that Chinese are censoring people is none of my concern. I'm not looking to persuade the Chinese of anything. I am interested in America. I mean, I would like it if the Chinese would have free speech. I would like the Chinese to have a lot of things. I would like them all to be 6 feet tall as well. but
Okay.
I have no control over that.
What about
But
what about Confucian institutes at universities? So Melissa Chen recently on Twitter was saying there was 90 of the Confucian institutes in the United States, and the actual number needs to be 0. Was her assertion.
What does that mean? What's a Confucian Institute?
So they
Think about Scientology, and you're in LA. Think about.
I mean, you can see the Confucian mindset of Melissa Chen because she doesn't understand America's founding principles. She thinks that this is why I told you 90% of your guests are authoritarian. To them, everything is a question of what should we allow, and your questions that you're asking me reflect that same premise. Should we allow people to do this? Should we allow people to do that? If someone has some retarded Confucian religion they want to teach on a college, that's up to the college. And before you say, oh, but they're subsidized, they shouldn't be subsidized. Oh, but those guys, the other guys are subsidized. They shouldn't be subsidized. Oh, but everyone shut the fuck up. Everyone just shut the fuck up and think critically for 5 seconds. Stop thinking in Confucian and actually look at the facts of reality, and let's deal with the facts of reality.
So
if you want free speech, you need to understand the way that property rights integrate with free speech, which is why when I was invited to that famous, memorable Kilroy conference where I met you guys, and I was given an hour to talk about whatever I wanted with regards to free speech. What did I choose to talk about? How the audience themselves probably are missing the mark in the way that they're dismissive of property rights, to the point where they're even going to violate property rights without a moment's hesitation in order to preserve, quote, free speech on other people's platforms. So the question of how many Confucian institutions should there be? What the hell kind of question is that?
Well, so the Confucian institutions are this. So they're funded directly. They work with the university. So they'll come into a university and say, hey, do you have a Chinese language program? They'll say no. Say, guess what? You won't have to hire teachers at the cost of $1 million. We'll fund it all for you. The CCP funds this. Then they come in, they'll teach Chinese, but they also have students then singing songs praising Mao. And anytime a Chinese speaker is invited to the main campus, the Confucian Institute blocks them or threatens to withdraw the funding.
I will answer your question in a way that you're not going to like. Privatize and let the market decide, and the journalists of the world can shed light on it, which is perfectly great, to shed light on here's what's being taught at this school over here, whether it's Confucianism, Islam, Zionism, whatever it is you don't want being taught at schools, express yourself. But we need to privatize and we need to divorce government from business.
Okay. So your answer is like that. I would that's fine, right? But what about public universities? So you're cutting out that problem. You're just
what
saying
part
you
of
should have
privatize? Yeah, I said privatize.
Well, let me ask. Can I ask a question now?
You can ask me a question now.
All right. Is it my turn? Are you going to yell at me?
You have the floor.
All right. Here we go. So India is what India just did. So obviously the coronavirus is going around the world and destroying world economies. And China knows this. And it started what they did to the Indian economy, similar to what it devalued all their, a ton of their companies. So what China was doing while these companies are devalued is they're going in and buying up these companies while they're worth nothing. The Indian government stepped in and said, no, absolutely not. They made that illegal and said, we're done. We're not going to be allowing China to buy up our companies while they're devalued. What do you think?
I mean, what the hell is India? Do they have property rights? Are they capitalist? Are they socialist? Are they minimalist, where they force people to live in villages like Gandhi and starve to death, which is what happened there for 50 years? I mean, we just you want me to solve every little problem and every moral dilemma?
No.
I'm giving you the fundamentals. I'm saying property rights and free speech and, protection of the national safety, like protection of people's rights in a country. That doesn't mean go to economic war with China. It just means if the Chinese are literally stealing American intellectual property, then that's an issue for the American government. But if the Chinese are taxing stuff, or if the Chinese are trying to spread propaganda in America, that's what freedom looks like. We got every opinion around the world. You cannot police ideas. You can only figure out what the fuck your own ideas are and actually
would you allow,
advocate
but
for
you-
that.
would
wait,
you
wait.
allow would you be okay with a state-owned a company in China buying, say, the New York Times?
Why is that any of my business? They
Well-
basically own them already. I don't mean
Yeah.
the Chinese, but like the communists have owned them
good
since
point.
before the Russians were even communists.
Well, back to my question, because you didn't answer it. You just flailed your arms around.
So sorry I didn't answer. What's
do
the
you
question?
think it was a good decision by the Indian government to make that illegal? Do you think that was a good call, or you're saying no? Let the Chinese buy
Well, it's
everything
a national
devalued.
security issue.
No,
That's what
well,
they say.
I mean,
wanna get-
it's stupid. You've got an unfree country. Who is buying it? Chinese businessmen or the literal Chinese government?
government.
No, Chinese. Every
Every
Chinese
business-
company has a CCP board member.
Correct.
So they're all
Government,
government owned.
right?
I don't know. I know what needs to be done in India. I don't know what to do with this one very nuanced, complicated issue, but India, America, China, and everyone else needs to answer some tough questions very soon and stop hyper-focusing on little nuanced things and really get down to the fundamentals and do it fast, or you're
Well,
going to lose
You don't think
everything
we should
you love.
decouple
Well,
from
what-
China for national security issues?
What?
Economically decouple as much as we can from China for
What does that mean?
Moving our manufacturing out, not partnering with China, looking at other places.
Who's manufacturing?
bringing manufacturing back
companies.
here?
Who's
Who's
setting-
bringing manufacturing? I'm sorry. Do you own a manufacturing company that and do I own one that we're talking about? Whose company are we talking about?
I didn't say we.
You just said
like biotech pharmaceuticals. The enormous amount are made in China. Should we change laws and such so it's economically disadvantageous for them to be made?
the
in China?
only way to that the American government should fuck incentivizing. That is not the government's job to incentivize or de-incentivize anything. But the only way the government should step in is if it can be demonstrated that what's happening in China is violating the rights and property of Americans. In which case, make it illegal and go after it, not just tax it or incentivize moving the shit out of there. This is not the government's job to look for market solutions. No,
Yeah.
the government's job is to say, here's what violates people's rights and is illegal, and here's what is none of our business to police.
But the government's job is also to provide for the national defense. And if you have your
What did I
entire
just-
medical sector over there, are you providing for the national defense by missing key things? Rare earth elements are also, all the rare earth mining is done in China. We use this for our stealth bombers. We use this. We don't have enough. Every bit of cell phone needs neodymium, and we don't have American mines. So
What we need is capitalism. That's what we need. We have our own problems here. We live in a highly regulated, unfree economy that's been effed in the A for well over 100 years now, with antitrust BS, with all types of other things that I'm not going to swear about. I'm going to keep this family friendly so that we don't get manually reviewed by certain people.
Oh, we're already there. Come on.
So we don't get censored.
Yeah, we're already there.
we're already there.
Yeah.
But so you
Look, you can ask me about a million nuanced issues, how to deal with China. I don't know how to deal with some crazy half communist, former communist, half basically like selling raw uncooked meat off of the fucking sidewalk.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how to deal with all these issues.
Well,
I can just tell you, when you have when you understand the fundamentals and you protect people's fundamental rights, and those rights are inalienable, then what you get is clean products, you get the protection of rights, and you get a booming, prosperous society. But what everyone else wants to do is hyper focus on little complicated issues and ask, how should we, quote unquote, further violate people's rights to solve? It's like hitting, it's like those things that pop out and you keep hitting one, but another
Whack-a-mole?
one pops up. That's what you guys want to play. I just want to play basketball. Throw the ball. It's simple. Ball goes through the hoop.
Okay.
End of story.
So rather than solving these, how do we make fun of them? How do we joke about these issues?
What?
What?
Like, I mean, right? If you're saying like, I don't know how to solve this stuff, well then tell us how to make fun of it.
Well, he just does his. He just.
Yeah, it's kind of what I do.
Yeah,
but
it's just
know.
do you watch any one of his
That's
videos?
what I mean. Right.
yeah, it's all my videos.
Well, Ruck, I get.
But so what I'm saying is, there's got to be something swirling around with China. In your brain for a song.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I'm totally on the side of letting business do business, but right now the U.S. is in this position, and it's not just the U.S. There's a lot of Western countries that are in this position where they've been utilizing China, and China's been devaluing their own currency, so everything's cheaper, and they've been taking advantage of their own people, so that
You're
they can
gonna
make
have
things.
to get an economist
So
to
they can
address your concerns. I'm not an economist.
No, I
it's
think
fair.
he answered. He already answered. He said,
That's
like,
fair.
if they're stealing IP, they
but
gotta follow
again,
rules. They're
you
not
need to
following
always look at the bigger context. We would not have a world overrun with Corona right now if we had free markets in medicine for the last 150 years or last 100 years that it's been regulated. Even America, the supposed wild, wild west, it's ask a doctor how free he is. Or he doesn't even know how much regulation has harmed him because you don't even see it. It's hampered the industry for so long. So everyone, please shut the fuck up for 1 second and just do what I tell you. And we wouldn't have to. This is the price we pay for having a mixed economy. This is the price we pay for having regulation in place and for taxation. This is the price we pay for having government meddling in people's property and violating property rights. This is the price we pay in blood. This is the price we the price we pay in mountains of corpses that are all the damage that's going to come from having an unfree economy, including and especially medicine. So if India didn't follow the advice of Gandhi, and if they actually had capitalism 50, 75 years ago, India wouldn't even be dealing with Corona right now because it would be as easy to deal with as the common cold.
Okay.
Or easier.
Or easier.
Yeah,
okay.
Easier.
So, yeah, that's an interesting take.
Mm-hmm.
I still think.
By the way. All my philosopher friends online. Why does India even have to worry about Corona? Can't they just meditate it away? I thought the Easterners are so much more advanced than we are philosophically. They never tarnish themselves with disgusting Western logic. They never expose themselves to this faulty, biased Western imperialistic reason and science. Shouldn't they just be able to meditate away this disease? Why is it there even need to worry about it? That's my question.
That's a good question.
I'm full of them.
Do you have any other questions for us?
What's your 401k like?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's tanking because we invested heavily in China.
Yeah, no, we didn't. No, let's not get that
Yeah.
out there. No, it's tanking because of China, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
everyone, and that's a sad part, is everyone's retirement fund's going to start tanking.
Everything is fucked. Everybody sucks. That's Limp Bizkit. They predicted the future 15, 20 years ago. Everything is fucked. Everybody sucks.
That's
I'm
right.
so guys,
right.
I don't even know what lies ahead. We're all in big trouble.
Is that what they said? Because I thought they said it was just all about the nookie.
That is what they said.
They also said that.
But that was the answer to this problem.
Everybody's everything is fucked. Everybody
All right,
sucks.
okay.
That's right. Yeah.
I didn't examine the underlying
Let
problem.
me ask
Thank you, Rucka.
Let me ask you a question, Rucka. So obviously we're planning this event in August. Now it's August.
Oh yeah, I'm sure
August
it's gonna go
23rd.
smooth.
Yeah. It always does. But
Except
thanks.
if it doesn't, because
Thanks,
nobody's there.
You jackass. That's exactly what I was going to ask you. Do you feel comfortable?
Sorry.
Do you feel comfortable traveling in August?
Right. I mean,
I don't care. I'm just waiting to hear what everyone else. Like, I mean, when it's safe to travel, I'll travel. Like, I'm not going to be the trailblazer and say, "Oh, I'll show you." I'm going to go out there with my pants off and have sex with the dirty tree and prove to you that herpes doesn't exist. I'm not that guy. I'm more than happy to be a sheep and just wait this thing out. But I can tell you philosophically what led to this and philosophically the way out, because I'm a guy who thinks in fundamentals. I'm a guy who looks at the essentials, and I'm a guy who deals with ideas.
Yeah. And you can find those ideas on his Rucka Reacts channel.
That's right.
All the time. Brian, do you watch Rucka Reacts?
I sometimes watch.
I put you on the spot. No, you don't.
Missing out. You're missing out.
But the thing is, it doesn't.
I watch it.
The problem is I'm a bit of a sheep when it comes to YouTube's recommendations comes and like Rucka Reacts doesn't like come in as much.
I get
sucks.
it. I get it. Well, because you have to hit the bell on the channel.
Well, Google, you've done we've done his diss thing wrong
Sean.
for some reason. It doesn't
Yeah.
recommend it.
Sean, are you actually all caught up on my Reacts channel?
No, I'm not all caught up, but I watch it when the bell comes on. Yeah. I mean, like you got to give me time.
I was going to ask you if
to
you've
watch
watched
it.
my last several videos and kind of like what did you take away from all of this? It's gotten very sort of inside baseball with some of the kind of personal relationships and kind of insider drama. And
Yeah,
like,
now
sort of
it's a lot of reacts. There's a lot of reacting to other philosophical people too. Yeah, it's very inside.
No, that's
baseball.
not at all what I said. But if that's what you heard, then who am I to tell you heard wrong?
You're reacting to the insiders of your.
It's not even a reaction channel primarily.
I'm not saying it's a reaction channel.
The name Rucka Reacts is there from a time when I was making fun of KSI and Blasphemous Head by reacting to people reacting to me, reacting to them, reacting to me. And that's where the channel got the name. And then when I plugged it on the Ruben show, now I can't change it because we've got a 200,000 view interview where I'm plugging it with that name. So I'm just going to leave it.
You can't change it now.
What would you change?
No, what I'm saying is you do react to other philosophers is what I'm saying.
Occasionally.
Yes.
But that's not at all what I was even asking.
Please don't tell me what you put on your own channel, all right? I watch it. And I see it.
Thank you for watching.
And I see you reacting.
What would you call it?
To other people.
If you could go back in time and give it the name you wanted.
Maybe I would keep it, or maybe I would say Rucka Speaks. But I think Rucka Reacts is pretty good. The ambiguity is good. Like, so Sean still doesn't know what the channel is, and that's cool with me. Like the whole kind of what the fuck is he doing has been a big question that people have, like. That's kind of my whole thing. It's like, wait, what's he doing now? Like, why is he doing that? It's kind of my brand.
Right. Deep talk with an Egyptian dentist.
I did.
Yeah, he did do that.
Is that someone in the chat room asking?
No, he was just looking at your channel.
Taking a peek.
That's a great talk. You would enjoy it. Even you can't find a fault with that. It's cross-cultural. It's surreal. We've got a literal Egyptian dentist with terrible teeth calling in, and I give him shit. You know me. I'm always looking to help people with their dentistry. So I'm trying to argue with this Egyptian why it's in his interest to deal with teeth. But you know, he's too busy living in the afterlife to worry about his teeth in this world. But finally we got down to the fundaments and we talked.
You got down to the root?
Right. Return of the Simp. How is that different than Return of the Jedi?
Well,
not very.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to the root of the problem?
What if I recall, Return of the Simp was me walking back some of my reaction to an issue. So as you can see, I'm a very reflective person who likes to admit when I might have been erroneous.
Yeah.
We like that.
Yeah. You're very, very quick to admit when you're wrong. I've seen it.
Oh, because you admit you're wrong so often. Sorry, I'm thinking of all the countless times you've ever let me teach you anything.
I do admit when I'm wrong. I see you all the time arguing, all the time. No matter where you go, it doesn't matter who's around, you just start an argument, which is great, you know?
I think that's a misunderstanding of what it is you're witnessing, but that's the role of philosophy. So your eyes aren't deceiving you, but the way you're interpreting it is the province of philosophy.
I'll never forget it. Like anytime Rucka's at any of the events, if it's the after party, if it's somewhere at the event or whatever, you're debating with somebody over something. I think it's
debating. It's called a conversation.
Yeah, but
it is kind of
when
exactly
you start,
what we want to have happen, Sean.
Yeah, I know. It's the point. But the point is, like, I can look and be like, random person of Sargon just hanging out, whatever. But then I see Rucka's like arms going all the time. Anytime I see you.
What characterizes this whole community of internet intellectuals as they reflect the larger intellectual culture around them is that finding the hot take is all that they're about, is that finding, oh, here's what you missed. Oh, let me correct you on something. But in my case, I have a positive point of view that I'm pushing. So I'm not just trying to find the fault in everyone like you described. I'm just looking for a debate. I'm trying to emphasize here's what's important to me.
Fundamentals.
Love it. It's perfect for the events, though.
It's perfect for not only the event, but for life itself, now that events are a thing of the past.
I know. That's a sad thing. Like, do you support an event where everyone wears masks? These are the questions we have to ask ourselves.
I mean, are masks going to make a difference at that point?
I don't know.
So what,
That's a
what
really
are they
good
doing
question.
with the DNC?
Still going.
It's not.
Yeah, it's still going.
It's planned, but can you picture it happening?
They just made a statement yesterday that says we are still planning an in-person.
Now they did. To be
conference,
fair, they
so-
said that they had no plans to change it even in March, and then they moved it back. So
How do you get? Yeah, go ahead, Rucka.
They're going to have people 6 feet apart. They're going to have limited capacity.
You can't do that.
and-
You know you can't do that. I mean, the
Why
chairs,
not?
the chairs themselves. I mean, it's at the Bucks stadium. You've been to basketball.
Do you understand the
You've been to
concept of
basketball.
having people 6 feet apart and empty chairs
3
between
empty
them,
seats.
or do I
Do
need to
you
like take you to the
understand
stadium
the
and show you how it works?
concept of walking through hallways and sitting at concession stands and lines for bathrooms?
that's a good point. You'd have
Do you
to stagger them
understand-
in,
you
you're right.
can't-
Even
you-
with
It's
half
called
the-
limited capacity.
You
so
would
they
have
only
to-
sell so many tickets so that people aren't having an orgy during the convention.
But it doesn't matter. You know how these
Listen,
things
I
go.
don't think they should do it at all. I think the DNC is depressing. It's a bunch of clowns dressed up bizarre and just seeing who can get a louder round of applause for communism. You think I'm like a fan of what they're doing over there?
Yes, but you
at least
support.
it's not the Republican National Convention where they pay lip service for a week to capitalism while marrying it to religion and speaking about family values and pretending to know what the fuck they're doing.
But you support their right to do them.
I mean,
Yes, you have
support
to,
their
right?
right to do them.
Yeah.
What do
You
you
have-
mean? What
mocking.
exactly?
You would
are
have to.
asking?
You said I wish they weren't doing what they're doing, but at the end of the day, you have to support their right to do it, right?
Yeah, obviously.
okay.
Why would I
Yeah.
tell them not to do it?
Yeah,
Like, why would
no,
I
I
not
know.
let them do it? What am
No.
I? What am I, mythicist Milwaukee? What am I here to tell you how we should police society?
This is real questions like organizers have to ask themselves
Yeah.
now. Like it's been a whirlwind. Like I don't even like I'm envisioning people
yeah.
in
Well, I
masks.
don't think the medical establishment fully understands what's going on here. That's why the consensus is so hard to arrive at.
And you
Makes
know-
it hard for us.
It doesn't matter what event. If it's our small events, if it's a gigantic event like the DNC, you know, the reason people go is they want to talk to people, you know. So what do? You just say, oh, no, can't talk to anyone. That's the whole point. People are there, you know.
Yeah, I don't know how they would do that. I think they're just gonna cancel it and do it over Zoom or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was thinking
nothing.
that.
Nobody's meeting anywhere. It doesn't look like anything's gonna change. It's
Get
just,
your
it's
free
fu- it's,
hazmat
it's
suit.
truly depressing.
But the virtual ones are not as good. They're just not. There's something about being there, being in person.
Sean, what if we were all
I
in
mean-
hazmat suits? That would work, right? Gloves.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
everything.
but that's a cost that they're not going to go through.
Nobody's gonna wear hazmat suits.
I'm
How can they
joking.
showcase their racial diversity if they're all dressed in yellow?
Because you could just put it on the outside of the hazmat suit.
Oh God, can
You would be in black, I'd be in white.
Can you
right?
imagine if like there were like a white person in a black hazmat
Right
suit?
now, I don't know what color you'd put the
That
Asians
would be a
in and
scandal.
others. It's
that
gonna
would be a
problem.
huge
Would
scandal.
Obama be like zebra stripes or like split halfway in the middle?
I know. And what if you were LGBT? Then, like, would you have the rainbow, to show that, but then you couldn't show your race?
Yeah, us biracial people get screwed all the time. It's true.
Oh, biracial,
Yeah, biracial, 2 races.
Italian and Mexican.
No, Irish and Mexican, close though.
What?
Yeah, Mexican.
Oh.
Sean, my name's Sean.
Oh, excuse me.
Come on, let's get it together.
Excuse me, your name
get
is
it
Sean.
together, Rucka.
Of course you're Irish. Why?
But
Right? Everyone makes that connection.
Yes.
Conor McGregor said he was biracial.
Who?
What?
Conor McGregor, when he fought Floyd.
Floyd
Mayweather.
Mayweather?
What is he? Irish and what else?
No, he said that he was black from the waist down.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Not. Let me ask you a question.
Yes, I want to hear it.
Do
You know what?
think
Typically,
you're,
we'd be done by now, but I don't even fucking care.
Do
Whatever.
you think you're sticking to your brand? I mean, I thought Mythicist is supposed to be a place for like diversity and debate, but you basically just express your opinion all the time.
Yep. Pretty much
Well,
it.
who's us?
Like the Mythcon or Mythicist Twitter. You're always just giving an opinion.
Yep.
You know,
Taking
you're
polls,
not here.
taking
But
polls.
because the whole like let's debate is a stupid premise. You can't eventually you need to express an opinion, because then like you have like Antifa
That's correct.
shutting down speech. So you
That's
need to be
correct.
like, okay, we're anti-Antifa. Oh, what happened to being neutral? What happened? And then you get caught in the middle of shit.
No, you still have values and
But
principles.
the silence of that discussion, right?
We're anti-authoritarian.
Yeah.
That's right in our mission.
Until it doesn't suit you to be free, and then you are authoritarian.
No.
It's authoritarianism for me, but not for thee.
No.
Let's hope not.
No?
That's not true.
Oh,
No,
my bad.
not at all. No.
My fault.
That's why we got a problem with China.
China.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to ask him
but,
something, and now he is.
I read Robert Spalding's book, Stealth War. Well,
oh yeah, he's good.
It's amazing. I mean,
Can I tell you?
describes in detail.
What did Spalding say? The basketball?
No, not the band.
No, the Air Force Brigadier General.
Yeah, he's good. He's really, really good.
You should check him out.
What did he say? What's so good about him?
Oh man, there's so much craziness.
Well, like the Document 9, the commies, the CCP is explicitly stated that they are at war with us in so much that freedom of religion, freedom of speech are existential threats to their existence.
Yeah.
Well, once rights are no longer inalienable, everyone's a threat to everyone, and it'll only multiply and get worse. Can I tell you something deep?
Yes.
Can I tell you something deep? This is deep.
A deep cut.
This potentially could change lives and change the world if people are open to hearing.
I just want to remind you. You answered. I rarely toot my own horn.
No, it's not
you
me.
said agree.
This is not me. This is the truth. It's not me. It's the truth that I'm tooting.
Here we go. So change
the
world.
Something deep?
Yes.
I like how you conflate certainty with tooting my own horn. I like how you conflate conviction and actually caring about something with tooting my own horn.
You just said this could change the course of humanity.
I'm not just a perpetual skeptic who prides myself in being quote unquote objective, aka not having any principles whatsoever. But that makes me that would make me something. Let me tell you something deep. You want to hear this?
Yep.
If you actually let this in, it could change the world. China, India, Europe, Africa, Middle East, Russia, and all of Asia, and Antarctica,
Australia.
And let me finish. Canada, Mexico, and everything beneath that. They all look to America to lead by example, and they'll never admit it, but they all do. So if America had a philosophic revolution and embraced liberty and justice for all, which means, among other things, inalienable property rights, and we had capitalist paradise here at home, the world would follow suit. So we wouldn't even need to worry about how to deal with, Chinese Communist Party, which is half communist, half something else, how to deal with them doing this and that. The Chinese would want liberty as well, and their government would come to reflect that, because governments reflect the culture beneath them. And that is what I believe.
Now, I would have agreed with you until we did all of this research into China. Dude, the social credit score, the fact that the government can strip away their rights at the drop of a hat. I mean, yeah, I typically agree that, and I've told Brian this too, I've told a lot of people, I don't think that's a sustainable situation in China. I think people will revolt at some point, but right now it's working really fucking good. And right now they're being rewarded for being anti-America.
Works good for who?
Works good for China as far as controlling all of their...
Who is China? Who is
the
China?
CCP.
Is that a person?
No, the government...
Is that the girl that Rob Kardashian married?
If you don't know who China is, I don't even know why we're having a discussion.
China is a country.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
It is a concept referring to a country.
I'm saying
it doesn't
this...
quote unquote work when an individual is oppressed. So let me offer you the fact that there's always been oppression and authoritarianism.
Okay.
But what we have today is the Chinese using the technology that capitalism brought about. They're using that technology to police people and depress them. And I will offer you that it's bullshit. So will you please listen back to this episode and actually hear what I said, which is deep, which is that if America embraces liberty, other countries would follow suit. So we wouldn't even you jump over to but here's what China's doing. you're still not listening.
No.
If America embraced liberty, the world would follow suit. They all look to us. When China looks to us, what do they see today? Do they see capitalism in the real sense? Do they see property rights? They see pragmatism. They see a president who speaks about this country like it's his personal company that he runs. They see lobbies. They see groups of people saying, we want this, we demand that. They don't see individualism. They don't see capitalism. So the Chinese, they shrug and they do what they want to do to meet their own short-term goals. But if we actually had liberty here in America, if we had capitalism, again, the world would follow suit because they all look to America, whether they admit it or not. Just like most people look to me and won't admit it, that they're trying to emulate what it is that I'm doing here.
I rarely toot my own horn. I just want to point that.
Maybe
back
that last part was a bit of an exaggeration. I wish people would look to me for guidance. The world could be saved.
He really screwed up his disc profile test. It's not accurate at all. It's not.
It's a dumb question to ask in a job interview. Like in a job interview, I'm not there to toot my own horn. I'm just there to do some manual reviewing.
Rucka, I could see you walking in every day saying, look, if this company would just listen to me, this company would be the most...
That's true. You're right. I have a big mouth. But I haven't worked in an office. I haven't been in a corporate environment. So I have no idea who I am in that context. I imagine, like every other place I've been, I have a big mouth, and I would end up talking a lot of shit. But the question is, would that get me to become like best friends with the boss because he sees that I have what it takes? Or would it lead to some bureaucratic H&R, power freak giving me the boot because I'm a threat? I don't know.
Yeah.
I would pay
the latter.
I would pay to see it happen either way. If we ever get big enough, I promise we'll hire you, and then we'll just film your whole interaction with the staff.
Why aren't you big enough? Let's get you big enough.
Yeah, well, that'd be nice, but you know how it goes.
No, I don't. How does it go?
Because we're not, this country's not capitalist enough. So the fact that it's not, we can't thrive. Because
in all fairness,
I mean, come on.
Here's an example. People think, everyone only cares about money. But if you guys wanted money, you would either be, Democrat shills, or you would be like liberty movement libertarians and just go full libertarian. You guys are sticking to what it is you believe, which is that unremarkable centrists are where the answer is, and you're giving those people a platform, and I respect that. And it's not getting you the audience that libertarians get, and it's not getting you the audience that Democrats get. It's getting you a very sort of confused and bewildered group of people that are still trying to figure out what the fuck they're doing with their life. But you are doing what you're following your passion. And that's my point. My point is people follow their philosophical beliefs. They're not just motivated by dollars and cents like Karl Marx thought.
You just insulted all 12 of our
actually, he complimented them because they're wildly open-minded, confused, open, looking. That's why Rucka likes us so much.
They're perpetually skeptic.
He loves the centrist.
Well, that's why he likes them. Look at this audience of minds to be molded.
You love the centrist, Rucka.
I wish I could mold them. They're not interested in having their minds molded. But my point being, you guys are sticking to what it is you believe rather than selling out.
No.
You're actually following your passion.
That's true. I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're
For
welcome.
that.
See, I don't just go around talking shit. I actually stand for something positive.
You do. And that panel you did with
that came out of him right there.
That was the yes.
That was the
That was yes. That panel that you did with Graham Elwood was the favorite last year. So
yeah,
there's a ton of people who are like, "Hey, we need to see that again."
I like how
you need to get Graham on your freaking Rucka React show. That would be.
I mean, that doesn't sound that interesting. There's a lot of leftists and a lot of centrists and a lot of right wingers that I have major disagreements with that I have access to invite on, but that doesn't sound that interesting to me to bring him on my channel and have a debate. I'm just not that motivated.
Don't label
a panel
him.
Where it's like there's a live audience and there's a group of us and we got flown out and there's a nice rec room in the green room, and like you're like, yo, what do you believe? That sounds fun to me. But just like having YouTube arguments with people, it just doesn't inspire me.
I'm with you.
There's a lot of people I could be debating with right now. I'm just not interested in talking to.
And remember,
I'm
Sean,
with him on that.
Graham is no Egyptian dentist.
Yes, that's true.
That's true. That's true. The conversation needs to begin with teeth before we get to ideas.
If Graham only studied dentistry in Egypt.
If you had a sexier bicuspid, you'd be on all the time.
No, I'm with you, though, on that, Rucka. I mean, obviously, since this whole thing has been happening, I've been looking at alternatives as well, and I'm just not excited. I'm not excited by the virtual thing. They did the
COVID.
The COVID.
That's kind of cool.
It was cool, but to me, it was not exciting. Is what I'm saying.
Well, they wouldn't have done it virtual if.
And they gave it away for free, which is good. And they had a ton of scholars and professionals that have and ex-military and stuff. But it was a great idea. I'm just not excited by that. I'm with Rucka. I don't think the virtual events. I just don't think that makes sense. Like I don't even pay attention to online debates. A lot of things don't
make sense.
Thanks.
It was kind of cool. Melissa got to interview Kyle Bass, though. That would have been fun.
I meant as far as an alternative to the live events.
Yeah, I mean, you see, when you guys are good at putting on events, that's like people actually travel out to come to your event. You would think those same people would all tune into your podcast.
No, they don't.
But evidently
never.
not. Maybe,
never.
But maybe if you treated your podcast like you treat events and you have like 4 people on to argue about their differences, you could become like the sort of blood sport
but that's what I'm saying, though. I'm not.
You don't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't
want to do that.
Man.
I don't look, this was supposed to be my busiest traveling year ever.
Yeah.
I was going to go to your shit. I was going to go to some other things. I was going to be in Europe.
Yeah.
I was going to be all over the place, man.
Yeah.
There are birds in the sky that I'm not hitting with an airplane right now.
No, it's true. It's true.
It is true.
Yeah, this is true. I thought you were going to go somewhere with that, but I thought you were going to make a point, but yeah, no, it's true.
But just imagine, what if this corona shit happened when I was about to go intern at the radio station? What if this corona shit happened, when I was going to go like record the song that was going to blow up on YouTube for the first time?
Yeah.
What if this corona shit happened when like various monumental moments in life were about to happen?
Yeah.
What if Mine's IRL got canceled because of corona? Like all these various things that changed the world and changed my life. Like what if I had just been stuck at home in the first place? Man, that's sad to think about.
No, I said that too.
Maybe it would have stopped you from getting herpes, though, so it could be a good thing.
In that case, you make a good point.
No, I told Brian that yesterday, though. Seriously. Like
you guys were talking about me having herpes now?
No.
I think I should take the test first.
No, I told Brian that like in my 20s, if this would have happened in my 20s, I would have been fucked.
There's a lot of opportunities I'm going to miss because of this that are incalculable. Like I said, I should be traveling this year. There's people I should be meeting. There are, there are villages I should be pillaging. I could be gathering data,
Yeah.
Last time I went to Europe, I came home and I wrote a song called Netherlands Gay. It just goes through every country in Europe. This changed people's lives.
That was great. I loved
there
it.
are Europeans that didn't even know they were gay. I mean, that's millions of people probably that live in Europe. I don't know who's over there. It's tiny compared to America. You can go from France to like Italy in like a bus drive. What the fuck kind of shit is that? You can go from one country to another in like a drive. You can drive through countries.
They do share a border, to be fair.
What?
I think France and Italy share a border. So.
That is fair. Thank you for being fair.
No, but I'm serious. Like, this thing is, and that's why I'm serious. There's going to be a lot of people that are unemployed that haven't been unemployed in a long time. And it's going to be really, really scary. I mean, I know there's a lot of people. My company has 500 employees, and there's a ton of people that had to learn how to file for unemployment because they've never,
I hope people still find me funny after the changes we're about to go through. It's possible people's spirits will be crushed.
Do they find you funny now? No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I guess clicks are clicks.
I don't buy into this
clicks
whole
are clicks.
Everything's going to change. I don't think that. So I think that they will. I think we have to get over the weirdness right now.
Well, we're a social species, and we're being told to go against our natural sense of socializing.
We're a contractual species.
Oh.
Well, when this becomes more normal, right now this
Thanks,
is a
Rucka.
this is a brand new thing. When it becomes more normal, and less scary.
I was thinking about this too. Like, just imagine like singles. It's like, what do you do?
Oh yeah. I mean, now just like talking online is the norm. So
Yeah.
it's probably going to help people's chances because like all the people that are used to going to the club
Yep.
and are sort of like more out,
Being
like,
on the
they tend to leave
scene.
the house more. Now
Yep.
those people are stuck at home too. So it's
Yep.
kind of like we're all nerds now. You know what I'm saying?
Like
Yeah.
the new hookups are going to be like how they did it in Demolition Man.
What was that?
Do you remember that?
No.
No, you guys didn't see Demolition Man?
I saw it, but I don't.
They outlawed sex in Demolition Man.
They had to do the virtual sex
Yeah,
thing,
they
is
had
what
the
you're
virtual
saying.
sex, yeah.
Oh. I think the
I
biggest thing
only-
people remember are the clamshells from that movie.
I don't even know. I don't know if I've seen. Is that an '80s movie or something?
It's got
a 90s
Wesley
movie.
Snipes, right?
It's a good one, yeah.
Wesley
It's
Snipes
and
and
Rocky.
Rocky, yeah.
Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, Sylvester Stallone.
All I know is I love the movie The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger, where they have the game show where like criminals need to fight for their life, and it's a movie made in the 80s. I think it takes place in 2007. By the year 2007,
Yeah.
where people are poor and everybody's miserable and poor, but the one thing they turn to is this game show
Yeah.
where people are getting murdered or fighting
Yeah.
to get pardoned for their crimes. And the crimes are bullshit. It's all
Yeah.
rigged. It's all corrupt. But everyone somehow in this dystopian future can still smoke everywhere. And when they go to the airport, they just walk right through security and get on the plane in 2 seconds. So somehow this horrible future is not even that bad compared to the one that actually happened.
What they missed was in 2007, they did in fact have a game, right? But it was called The Flavor of Love. Right?
Yeah,
And that's
good point.
so they missed it.
A bunch of convicted felons are competing for one chance. Yeah.
Is that
Basically the
Flava
same thing.
Flav show?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Flavor of Love.
I think that came out in 7.
Yeah, they pretty
It's
much
real close to that.
redid the Running Man's plot.
The
many
VH1
times.
used to just like make cultural landmarks like Flavor Flav shit, like what else came out of that shit? The White Rapper Show, of course. with MC
Yeah,
Serch.
you're right. VH1 had a lot. You're right.
And all the spin-offs, I Love New York.
Yeah.
All these things happen, and it all ties back to the surreal life, where that's where Flavor Flav and the girl from Rambo first got together.
Oh.
And they got a spin-off. Everyone got a spin-off of a spin-off.
Bridget, somebody.
They did Talk Soup, right? Wasn't that them? Oh no, was that E?
The Soup.
That was E.
The Soup.
The
No,
Soup.
that was E.
That was E. They did I Love the 90s. They did all those, right?
Oh yeah, everything was
Yeah.
I love this, I love
Yeah, I
the
love
80s,
that.
and
Yeah,
I used to think like, oh, I wonder what they're gonna do, like for this decade, once like 20 years from now. But obviously VH1 is too incoherent to stick with the game plan.
Stick with the what is it called? When you have something that works, the formula.
Hey, there's an idea.
Yeah.
How about like I love this or I love that? Just get a handful of YouTubers to just talk in front of their green screen about a topic, like yo, I love YouTube 2010.
Yeah.
And just like look up like what was popular and just have a bunch of today's YouTubers as well as yesterday's YouTubers like doing interviews and like
That's a
edit it
really good
together.
idea.
That'd be like a cool format. That shit could pop off.
That's a really fucking good idea.
Yeah.
Hey, that's really, really good.
Sounds
It
like
is
the
really,
YouTube
really
version
good.
of
We
that,
would,
that
we
old
would.
show, Our Century.
It would be a little expensive. You'd have to get some production.
Why would it be expensive?
Because you'd have to the green screen and all that. I mean, I don't know how that shit
What?
works.
I'm not buying them a green screen. I'll just tell them, yo, take video yourself in front of a green screen saying some shit and
Okay.
send it to me.
Yeah, and then you have to edit it down and all that stuff. Yeah,
There's
that's a good idea.
There's a comment that who did you guys hear about Nick Geraci lost a job? Who's that?
I don't know. I'm just one of the millions of people.
Geraci? Peter Francis Geraci?
You have to look it up. Let's Google
I
it.
look like I know
Google
who that
it.
is?
I have no
I
idea.
don't know.
Look up.
He lost his job. What was his job?
Well,
I don't know.
no.
Brian's gonna look up right now. This is funny. It's
What
the
do you mean?
longest-
He lost his job. You don't even know who he is or what his job was, but you know he lost his job?
No,
No,
that
it
was
was a
in the
comment.
comment, dude. Why are you jumping on Brian? He doesn't know. Jesus
bad.
Christ. I'm rarely upset in the workplace. I rarely get loud in the workplace. Or what was that?
Yeah.
No.
True.
This is the longest. I just want to say, Rucka, it's the longest stream we've ever done. Just talking about nothing.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Seinfeld style. But I do like that idea. I do like that reminiscing idea. That was super popular for VH1. I wonder if they still do it. I don't know.
Got to do like internet version, like find out what memes were hot,
Gamergate.
and then just like interview.
Well, they
like,
did that.
All these YouTubers would love the attention, you know.
Yeah, they were looking for funding for that Gamergate documentary I saw, but I think that fell through. Sargon would be all over that one. It's kind of like him cutting his teeth back then, right? I didn't follow it much. Brian was following it. I don't
know. I found out about Sargon like a little later than that, but it was still a very long time ago. This was so long ago, such a long time ago. Sargon was fighting for individualism.
That's right.
You talk shit about Sargon all the time.
That's talking shit about
So
Sargon.
you can
I loved when you guys
you
got
could
into
get
it. When Sargon was on his way to MythCon, he stopped over.
Oh
to
God,
Rucka's
it's
place and
hilarious
they
seeing these
yelled at
guys.
each other.
Yeah, I think that that was one of the early videos I saw Rucka, and he was sitting on Sargon's lap.
Me?
Yeah, in the UK.
I was sitting on his lap.
Yeah, you guys were like.
Can we talk? I don't know even know when was I sitting on his lap. But let me ask you this: why are you like allergic to just doing what you're supposed to do, Sean? We had a plan for like 9 months. We're going to surprise Sargon with the Sargon song with the full orchestra. So the plan was, let me talk before you interrupt once again. I know you're not hearing anything I say because the words are not entering your brain, but please try to listen anyway. So we had a plan. I don't know what's so complicated about this. We bring Sargon onto the stage, act like it's about this one shit, but then it's like, oh, surprise, the music starts playing. I walk out there, now he's on the stage, and I'm singing the song. What could be better than that?
We did do that.
That's not what we did. You got up there and, like, without the music even playing, you just get up there and, like, you're like, yo, Rucka, come on up here. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You're giving away the surprise. You're just standing there like, I'm like, where's Sargon? Sargon's not even here. You're like, oh, no, he's over there. Fuck him over there. Bring him over onto the stage, hold him in place, and let's torment him with the song that he hates.
Okay,
that was the whole point of the plan.
So
what's the point of getting an orchestra and planning all this out if you're not going to follow the instructions?
Okay, first of all, you had an orchestra playing. You did serenade him with your song. And secondly, you're trying to tell me to get the one person that cares most about individualism to listen to what I'm saying and that he needs to follow all of my instructions? Come on.
Well, and the thing happened.
He was up there with you.
I got him up there. I told you. Where's Sargon? Oh, he's over there. Fucking idiot. Bring him up here.
We did
now,
it.
Instead of what was supposed to happen, which we discussed in the emails and the fucking... Like, this was supposed to be, like, epic, man. This could have been a moment in time when you bring Sargon on the stage and pretend like it's about one thing or another. Maybe, I don't know, present him with a Lifetime Achievement Award or some other shit. He loves having his ego stroked. Then the music starts playing. They hit the strings. Then, surprise, I walk out and start singing, oh, it's just another edge, dude. That would have been a surprise. Yeah. Not you getting up there by yourself and with the orchestra sitting there, but no point. You get up there and you go, hey, Rucka, come on up here. Guess what? Come on. Why are you talking to me? Why are you talking to me? Talk to Sargon. Bring him up. Pretend this is about something else. Get the music to start playing. Then I come out. I was just an average dude. Now we've got him trapped.
Yeah.
There
was no stealth.
I'm so sorry. I only got a string quartet of the Chicago and Milwaukee Symphony, prepped on your song, practiced for months, ready for you to go up there. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That was all I was able to do. Next time, I'll make sure it's perfect. I'll make sure Sargon has no idea. If you're there and there's musicians there, Sargon's a really intelligent guy. He knows what's fucking going down. Don't give me that shit.
That's why you don't actually let him know what's going on until he's up there with you. But he wasn't. You were up there by yourself, like a gump,
please
saying, hey, Rucka, come on up here.
Please give me a scenario that I tell Carl. It says, hey, Carl, there's 4 musicians behind me, highly trained. I'm having you come up on stage with me only.
You could just say, we wanted you to thank everybody, and we're going to put it to music.
Bring him
He's
up
not
going
to do that.
One job. What the fuck is your job?
He was heavily drinking by that point.
Hey, we got Music Man Mike and the string quartet and who else? Who else was up there? And Angel Bonilla to sing for Armored and Chew for their engagement. That's pretty fucking good.
It's special.
Angel Bonilla was the first transgender woman on The Voice.
You are a trailblazer for civil rights.
Yes.
I know. Yes.
And she sang because she's awesome. And Music Man Mike was playing on the guitar.
He never gets the credit for it.
Yeah, he doesn't get a lot of credit for that.
Well, people do talk about that performance on a daily basis, but you're right. They don't get into the details enough.
Mm-hmm.
No, they don't. No one talks about it. But whatever. The point is, that was some fucking cool shit we pulled off. And you're yelling at me about it.
And it could have been cooler if you actually did what I told
You had
for once in
professional.
life.
You had professional musicians practiced on your song,
My God.
ready to go.
And yes, then actually execute it like I told you to. Bring Sargon on the stage. Say, Sargon, there's just one last thing we need to tell you. Now he's up there, and the music is playing, and then I come out and surprise him.
So
that
now
would
we
have
know.
been epic. Not you getting up there in this anticlimactic. Hey, come on over, hey, Rucka. Like, why are you talking to me? Why are you talking to me?
Okay.
Right. The enemy
Next
of good
time,
is better.
next time we do it, I'll make sure Sargon has no idea. The problem, well, the good thing is he'll never watch this, so that's great. That's good.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good thing. He might actually hear the case made for liberty. We wouldn't want that. What was Sargon saying last time I was yelling at him on here? He was saying,
God.
Hey, when I make videos and put it on YouTube, that's like working with to him, that's like John Locke saying that when you work with raw materials to create something, it becomes yours. That, to Sargon, uploading a video on YouTube from his underwear is equivalent to that. And when I asked Sargon, I said, Sargon, I hope you don't pirate shit, because that takes the food out of the mouths of countless people. And he said... And I said, I hope you, since you're so into property rights, I hope you don't pirate shit. And what did he say? Oh, actually, pirating is no longer convenient. I just use my Netflix, and that's enough for me. So let me get this straight, Sargon. 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 When your livelihood is in jeopardy, the law needs to change. The definition of property needs to change. The whole world needs to adjust itself to your ability to make a living on YouTube from your house. But when it comes to clicking and taking the food out of the mouths of incalculable amounts of people, then it's just a matter of your convenience. Absolutely, Sargon. There it is. The man of principle, the man of the century, man of the year, Sargon Carl of Akkad.
Well, the first one was Stephen Knight. In his impressions, the first one was actually a very good Stephen Knight, and the second one was definitely Russell Brand.
I'm not going to sit here and defend Carl's arguments because I couldn't ever. So, I mean, again, it was good seeing you guys do it on a stream for charity.
You know what's also really good?
By the way.
That's really good.
Imagine us here still 2 months later, still the corona hasn't been cured. I thought charity is the answer to everybody's problem.
No. That charity wasn't going to the cure. It was going to the people that can't afford to live right now. That's what it was going to.
You know what was overlooked was you and Roaming Millennial. Like, she's playing the guitar and you sang that.
Oh, that's right. Roaming was playing the guitar.
Good.
That's right.
Like, I don't know where you guys are at, but you're somewhere in the hotel.
And then Lauren, she was at his place in L.A. and she played it again, right?
And Rucka does such a job, and she can't stop like smiling and laughing. But
she's very good.
That was just a really good video.
She was very good.
It's a great video. That was when Ben Shapiro flew her out to be on his show.
That's what it was.
Up at the Beverly Hilton or some shit, some fancy hotel. Ben, you want to talk about a simp? You want to talk about a simp? Ben Shapiro flies her out so that I could either go to Disneyland with her or make beautiful music at my house. And that is the difference between me and Ben Shapiro.
I'm pretty sure that's not what a simp is. And
that you're black.
Also, I'll say this. That's actually really awesome. He paid for a hotel for her. Joe Rogan doesn't pay for hotels for his guests. So
because Joe Rogan's not a simp. And that's why I respect him.
Okay, so you just made the case that we don't pay for your hotel when you come to the event. Boom. Done. Thanks. Because now we're simps.
Very true.
Oh, you just dug yourself a hole there, Rucka.
Shit. How am I ever going to get out of this hole now that nobody's going anywhere or doing anything? I'm not getting my hotel paid for anymore.
There's a water park at your hotel. If it happens.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. It's,
Duh. That
Water.
was my Will Smith right there. Duh.
so you can social distance.
Awful.
How are they going to run a water park social distancing?
I mean, isn't water like supposed to make shit clean? The chlorine is probably killing the virus.
I don't know.
Don't know.
I don't think we know that.
Don't know.
I think we're ready to call this a wrap. Am I exaggerating? Do we have some more to discuss?
No.
It's been almost 2 hours in my estimation.
I say we can definitely wrap it. Let's wrap it.
Did I get the job?
No.
What?
And you lost your hotel.
Fuck.
We'll let you know. Don't call us. We'll call you.
We'll let you know.
I do love having you on every time.
That's
and
nice.
I love when you yell at me.
Where's Dimitri? I thought he was supposed to be such a trailblazer for civil rights.
He's at home. He's probably not even watching.
Yeah, just relax, Dimitri. Don't worry about saving the world. Don't worry about anybody but yourself.
It was something about Purim.
Is it today Purim?
I don't know.
What month is it?
I don't know. Brian, go ahead and I'm gonna
Go
ahead and go
What
and
year is
stop
it?
it.
Rucka, thanks so much for Myth Informed. And Rucka Rucka Ali, a brilliant and open-minded man who just wants to show us the way. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.